Taylor Swift is literally wearing my glitter freckles at the Chief game right now, and my brand is blowing up. I'm so overwhelmed and so excited. This is just crazy.
So naturally, we did a cover of the song White Horse. And who else sees that cover? Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, Oprah.
Hello, Megan and Liz.
Oh my gosh!
I have someone else here who wants to say hello.
Hey, Megan and Liz, it's Taylor.
So there's nothing like a good, life-changing Taylor Swift story. Check out how she impacted the lives of these women in this video.
Taylor Swift is literally wearing my glitter freckles at the Chief game right now, and my brand is blowing up. I'm so overwhelmed and so excited. This is just crazy. I just feel so grateful, and I don't know, just all this hard work and years of building brands and building companies, and like it just hits in one day, and I just couldn't feel more thankful and more grateful that I'm finally seeing something come of all this hard work. And let me tell you how Taylor Swift changed my business and life, frankly, overnight. I'm someone that's pretty glued to my phone for work reasons. But of course, this one time I decided to do a little meditation thing with my friend. I put my phone away for half an hour. I was like, I'm not going to touch it. And when I finally do get to my phone, and half an hour later, I look at it and I don't even know what to think. My whole phone has exploded between calls from my business partner, between my fiance, my parents, friends of mine, people sending me news articles, links, and I just see something that says Taylor Swift. And my stomach drops, my heart lifts, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is she wearing our freckles? That was what my gut was telling me. I can't even begin to describe the feelings I was having. I was, first of all, so grateful and excited, also really overwhelmed. Whoa, what are we gonna do now? What about inventory? This is gonna explode. We need to figure out what we're gonna do. How are we gonna, get as much publicity around this as possible, and how are we going to make sure we have all the inventory we need so that we can fulfill the orders that are probably going to come from this thing. So I call Aliett back and she goes, Nina, we need to get to computers right now and start working on this for as long as we need to work on this. And the last 48 hours, we have been grinding. We have made sure that all of the press out there, we're getting as much press as we can out there, that we're starting to think about collaborations. We're hitting news. So Aliett's in New York hitting all of the news outlets like CBS and NBC, and I'm out here hitting LA news, which should be coming out soon. And yeah, we're just tag teaming and literally trying to get as much done as we can. We hired a PR agency. We have made other hires in the last 24 hours. It's just been wild. And yeah, specifically, I'm really focusing on inventory. So I've been back-to-back meetings with my 3PL, which is my warehouse company, with our manufacturer. Everyone is on board. Everyone's putting 100%. I couldn't be more excited, more proud of my team to really try to make this all happen. I feel so grateful that my co-founder is as excited and capable and energized as I am about this whole thing to make it as successful as we can. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of other updates down the pipeline as to what's coming. But as of now, that's it. We're just trying these 48 hours. We were trying to make the most of it and get the most press as possible.
This is a story about how Taylor Swift changed my whole life when I was 16. Back in the day, my sister Megan and I would do a ton of YouTube covers. Yeah, and I mean a ton. Of course, one of our favorite artists to cover was Taylor Swift. She could do no wrong. Please keep in mind that this was 2009, peak fearless era of Taylor Swift. So naturally, we did a cover of the song White Horse. And who else sees that cover? Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, Oprah.
Hello, Megan and Liz.
Oh my gosh!
I have someone else here who wants to say hello.
Hey, Megan and Liz, it's Taylor. I heard you guys singing my song and I loved it so much. You guys did an amazing job.
Basically, after meeting Taylor Swift and being on the Oprah show, it made our YouTube following grow, and having Taylor know us just completely changed our career. We are so unbelievably grateful for this career and for Taylor. We did meet her again, opening for her at iHeartRadio, and she said that she loved our current song, Bad For Me, and even sang some of it to us. So Taylor, thank you for changing our lives.
Let me tell you how Taylor Swift completely changed my life. I'm an author and I wrote this book, The Rebound, and this book, Told You So. But as anyone who's ever written a book and tried to get traditionally published will tell you, it is so difficult. Before I wrote The Rebound, I had about 3 books that I'd had to shelve because they just were not up to scratch. To be fair, they were rubbish. And I was working on the first draft of what would become The Rebound, and it just wasn't clicking. At this point, I'd had about 30 requests from agents to read the full, and the rejections were trickling in. I knew there was something wrong with it. I just couldn't put my finger on what it was. And so flash forward to 2020, and I am writing my little heart out, trying to figure out what on earth is wrong with this book, when Miss Swift drops an album called Evermore. I don't know if you've heard of it. And I hear Champagne Problems for the first time. So my book, The Rebound, before it became the story that it is now, was an absolute mess. I'm not gonna lie. It had no through plot. Like, the characters, I knew what they wanted, but I just couldn't get to the heart of their issues. But once I heard Champagne Problems, I was just like, this is it. I have it. I swear, it was like a lightning bolt moment. That whole plot came to me like through divine Swiftie intervention, I swear. And from then on, my main character, Kitty, who had never wanted to get married, was suddenly faced with this proposal that she didn't really want from this man that she was genuinely in love with, and the heartbreak and the fear of having to turn that down, which then pushes her into a summer of self-discovery with a beautiful man called Leo Evans, who's her work rival, who promises that he can cure her cold feet. And that book got picked up by Audible, who decided that Claudia Jessie should narrate it from Bridgerton. And it went to #1, and honestly, there's just so many incredible things that have happened to me in my life since this book came out. And do you know what? If Taylor Swift had never dropped Champagne Problems, I don't know if this book would have become the book that it ended up being. And yeah, Swiftie forever.
Taylor Swift changed the trajectory of my entire life.
When you're young and can sing, everyone's first thought is put her in musicals. But when I was 13, I stumbled across a music video on YouTube for a song called Love Story.
He knelt to the ground and pulled out a ring and said, "Marry me, Juliet."
It was the first time I'd ever seen someone close to my age creating their own music. I started guitar lessons and writing my own songs, and I learned about a place called Nashville, Tennessee. And when I graduated college, I moved straight to Nashville and got my very first job as a video editor at Big Machine. I wrote songs and performed at nights and on the weekends and started building my online presence. And I had a full circle moment when a few weekends ago, I got to perform at Lollapalooza and meet fans who were around my age when I first started doing music. And that's how
I watch other people and their storylines and their life, and how, you know, I would watch like Behind the Music when I was growing up, like, and I would really notice that the first step of someone's decline in life and in their career was when they lost perspective. And they started seeing themselves as being smarter than everyone else, or cooler than everyone else, or bigger or better. And I always saw that as being the greatest misstep someone can have in their career. So I just focus really hard on just constantly reminding myself of what is important, what is actually difficult. My job's not that difficult. I think we get really swept up in thinking that because we have a lot of pressure on us, our job is hard, or that in some way, like, it's not the greatest thing that could ever happen to you getting to do this job, because it is.
So I just love hearing how Taylor has changed the lives of so many people over the years, because it just speaks to her generosity and overall big heart, as well as that, how she managed to remain grounded in her interaction with fans. And you can do nothing but respect and adore that. For more great Taylor Swift stories, check out this next video.